What is going on, guys? So sometimes I get these comments on my videos and they're making these totally wild assumptions saying, oh, you must hate women so much, you're just a woman hater, or you must have been hurt in the past. And these assumptions are so far from the truth, and it's hilarious when I read them because these people don't know me. They've never met me in my life. They have no clue who I am, and so I always laugh when I read them. But I see these kinds of comments on other channels as well, like MGTOW 101 and Sandman, and again, they're just so far from the truth. But check out this next clip. This woman calls in and she says to Tom that you must be so angry and you must hate women and all this stuff. Look how Tom responds. Anyways, guys, I'll see you in the next video.
This is Linda on the Tom Leykis Show.
Hi, Tom.
Hi.
I don't know that I really hate you, but I think I have you figured out.
You have me figured out?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, I do. I think that you are really a sick person, that you really hate women.
Really?
Because you've had so many bad relationships, and that has just completely turned you against female population. And I think you are a danger to our society.
Really? How so?
With this program.
How so?
Because if you think about what you preach, you say there should be no families.
I never said that.
No, you don't propose anyone get married.
I said there's, in fact, I said the exact opposite. I said the only reason to get married is to have children.
Well, you don't believe in love. You don't believe in a male-female relationship.
When did I say that?
Well, you're telling all your male listeners to completely take advantage of women and get what you can get from them.
Men want to get laid. And unfortunately, in this country, we are such prudes. You can't walk up to a woman and say, you know, I really love your breasts. Let's skip to the chase here. Let's cut to the chase and let's just go back to your apartment and have sex. You can't. You can do that in Europe, and there are other places on the planet you can do that, but not here. So you have to do what you have to do to get what you need.
Yeah, but you're telling men to just go after women for what they can get out of them, not have a relationship to get as much out of women.
Well, certainly not when they're young, no, because you shouldn't be having a relationship with a woman when you're young.
Well, I don't see you telling any age man to have a relationship with a woman for.
Well, you should only do it if you feel you need to do it, or if you feel you're going to have children. At that point in time, it makes sense to do it. I have told countless people who've had children out of wedlock they should have been married. They should do it while they're married. Haven't you ever heard me say that to anyone?
Well, yes.
I say it all the time. Well, then how can you say I don't believe in it if I've been recommending it to people?
No. You've also said that most of the men that you talk to should not even be involved with women because
most of the men I talk to are 25 and under. And they should not be involved.
I've heard guys call in that are, been through a lot of relationships and have, been burned by women, having babies out of wedlock with them and going after them for their child support and, all the horror stories that you go on and on about.
You think they're made up?
No. I mean, you get an enormous amount of bimbos calling in, and they completely fulfill every prophecy you've ever said.
Yes.
And,
I'm glad you agree.
Well, if you look at your whole picture of what you're preaching here, it's a detriment to our society.
I'm not preaching anything. All I'm doing is mirroring the existing attitudes of men. That's why I'm so popular.
It's sad.
Well, even if it's sad, is it my job to tell people what to think or to just simply reflect their real feelings?
Oh, Tom, these guys are calling you dad, calling you the professor. I mean, they think you're the most smartest person in the whole world.
That's because they agree with everything I'm saying.
Yeah,
what's wrong with that?
Well, what you're saying is, we should have a loveless society with no children.
I never said we should have a loveless society with no children. I said that men 25 and under should not be having children and should not be getting married and should not have serious relationships. That's all I've said.
No, your whole your whole existence on this program is telling men how to get as much as they can from women for as little money as possible.
Well, yes. Are you saying women should be paid more for putting out?
No, I'm saying...
Well, then why are you worried about them getting as much sex as they can for as little money as possible? Why is that an issue for you? They should pay nothing for sex.
Well, because you're just trying to get...
Prostitution's illegal. They shouldn't be paying for sex.
You are trying to get as much as you can from women and give as little as possible.
Well, I say that young men should certainly simply, it's I think, tit for tat. I think if you're a young man, you meet a young woman, you'll have sex with her and she has sex with you. What's wrong with that?
Okay, Tom, so at what point in time do all these men decide, okay, let's become, a responsible person?
Who's to say you can't be 22 years old and responsible? You can be, and you don't have to have a permanent relationship with a woman in order to be responsible.
Well, you're saying to be responsible, you make sure you don't get anybody pregnant, you make sure you don't have any emotional attachment.
Right.
Pardon?
Right. I'm agreeing with you. Yes.
Oh, okay.
I'm certifying that what you say is the truth. Yes.
Well, but at what point...
Why does that trouble you?
Well, at what point in time are you going to tell them, okay, now you've partied and had good enough time, so now...
Well, that's up to them to decide, as long as it isn't before 25.
Well, Tom, what if they never decide that? What kind of a society would we have?
Well, we'd have a bunch of people, for example, look at all these TV shows like Seinfeld and most of the life of the show Friends. Some of the most popular shows on TV, Sex and the City, they feature people who are approaching 40 who still don't have serious relationships.
Yeah, and if they keep practicing what you preach...
What's wrong with that?
They'll all be 60 and 70.
So what? Obviously, if they're having a good time, who cares?
Well, but were you just going to kill off the whole population?
Oh, please. There's no shortage of populace. Believe me, there are plenty of poor, ignorant people who will continue breeding like rabbits. You don't have to worry about that.
You know what I'm saying.
What do you say?
I'm saying that, what you're preaching is not... It's totally against families and the...
I'm not against families.
Oh.
I just simply think that most men, when they have families, are not ready to have families and should wait until they've gotten it out of their system. And they may never get it out of their system.
So you're saying that some people just should go through life...
Yes.
Just getting what they can from other people.
Yes.
And not ever committing to anything and not ever... having a serious relationship.
If they don't want to, why should they? Why should people feel obligated to do that?
Well, they don't have to do that.
Well, you seem to think they should.
Well, I feel that if everyone had your philosophy, our society would be...
But dear, everybody doesn't have my attitude. On the contrary, people are cranking out children as young as 9 years old. They don't care.
I know that.
I mean, has our population gone down since the Tom Leykis show has been on the air, has it?
No.
No, it hasn't. So you're worried that the population is gonna decrease because of this show? Please,
no.
Plenty of ignorant people with 7th grade educations will continue popping out kids. Don't worry. The population will continue to increase.
I know that.
So don't worry about what I'm telling people to do. People who are smart enough to tune in are smart enough to know that they're not obligated to marry or live with or hook up permanently with anybody until they're ready, if they're ever ready. And if they're not ready, there's no shame in saying, you know what, I like being on my own. There's nothing wrong with that. And the reason this show is so popular is because so many men and a lot of women happen to agree with that.
Well, you have a lot of guys, really young guys that are really impressionable, that are going through hard times with relationships.
Glad to have them.
And you're giving them this advice.
I'm making them feel good about the rest of their lives, which is stop hooking up with these women who burn you. Just simply get laid and move on.
You're giving them...
Kick her through the uprights when you're done with her and move on.
You're giving such a sick point of view.
What is sick about it?
Oh, it is sick. It's not...
I'm listening. Tell me what's sick about it.
You're telling them that they should get what they can from women.
Yes. Women get what they can from men. They get child support, vagina money. Women marry us and then take half our businesses, half our bank accounts. Why shouldn't men do that?
Well,
it's war.
you know, Tom, that's true. There's a lot of bad...
All right, so I'm helping men to take back the power.
Well, are you saying that to women, too? Should
Women already have the power. Any man who's ever been divorced, and I've been divorced 4 times, any man who's ever been divorced knows how the system is. Men get screwed. Men get screwed. And I'm helping them to take the power back. What incentive is there for a man to get married? Why bother?
Yeah, see, that's that. Why bother? You're right.
Yes.
There you are.
Well, all right, so you agree with me.
So, there's no good relationships.
I said the only reason to get married, the best reason, well, there's 2 reasons. One is if you're going to have children, and 2 is if you're marrying somebody from out of the country who needs a green card. That's it.
Oh, my gosh.
That's it. Now, I've told these guys not to marry or hook up with American women. Why would they?
I know. You hate American women. You hate them.
I don't hate them. I just wouldn't want to marry one or live with one ever again.
I guess.
Why would any man want to? American women are a bunch of tight-ass bitches who go around making demands all the time and never, ever, ever give back what they get.
I really am sorry to tell you this, but I don't think you believe that one bit.
Sure I do.
I think that you say that just to incense all the women that are listening to your program.
Well, but most of the women who listen know it's true. They brag about being bitches.
Well,
they have bumper stickers bragging about being bitches.
There are a lot
Bitch, babe, in total control of herself. Women brag about it. They got license plate frames bragging about being bitches.
I know.
All right, so why would any man want to hook up with somebody like that?
Well, you have taken the worst traits of women, magnified them like it's our whole population.
No one said it's the whole population, but it's certainly the majority.
Well, I never hear you say anything really positive.
Oh, dear.
Nothing.
Dear, believe me.
I guess there
are women who perform sex acts on me that I'll never forget.
Oh God.
Well, the real truth is the better woman is in bed, the more psychotic she is.
I'm very sorry, Tom.
And when a woman is from the United States, generally she's a tight ass, and she acts like she's doing you a favor by having sex with you or putting food on a plate. And you know what? American men are fed up, and you can hear it in the callers.
Well, you have completely such a bad, tainted opinion of...
Why do so many men agree with me?
Well, because it's so much fun to do this. It is just so much fun to do this.
To do what?
To nag on the women.
But look how many men agree with me.
I know. I mean, you've got these guys. I'm telling you.
So in other words, I'm like Jim Jones. I'm a cult figure. I'm making them drink the Kool-Aid, is what you're saying?
Well, no, they're just they're listening to everything you say like you are the gospel reader.
Which I am.